Is a vegan diet nutritious? Hello, my name is Omar Bugalia, and today we're going to be asking the question, is a vegan diet nutritious? So, what is veganism, first of all? Veganism is the theory or practice of abstaining from the consumption and use of animal products. So, how did this diet trend of veganism come about? So, one of the first vegans who are really well known historically are Pythagoras and Siddhartha Gautama, who was the founder of Buddhism. In 1813, the English poet Percy Bysshe Shelley wrote a vindication of a natural diet, in which he blamed societal problems on the consumption of meat. Shelley himself abstained from dairy, eggs, and meat for ethical reasons. Vegan is derived from vegetarian, in 1944 by British animal rights advocate Donald Watson, when he and other vegetarians formed the Vegan Society to stop the exploitation of living creatures for human consumption. So what are the food limitations, restrictions, and what's permitted in a vegan diet? So the permitted foods are whole grains, legumes like tofu, tempeh, lentils, and beans, nuts and seeds, and vegetables and fruits as well. And what's prohibited in a vegan diet or isn't part of a vegan diet, it's one of its restrictions, is any animal-based foods, so meat, poultry, seafood, eggs, and even dairy. So here's a sample vegan meal, and it's stuffed bell peppers. So the ingredients contain 4 medium bell peppers, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1 large chopped onion, 3 cloves of garlic pressed, a teaspoon and a half of ground coriander, a teaspoon of turmeric, quarter teaspoon of red pepper flakes, a cup of rice, a can of lentils, a can of diced tomatoes, a teaspoon of salt, an 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 cups of vegetable broth, and half a cup of Italian parsley chopped. So here's the instructions on making these stuffed bell peppers. So first you want to make your filling. So you start with your filling. You want to heat 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil into a large skillet, and then add the 1 large chopped onion that you chopped up already, and let those saute for 3 minutes. And then as that's happening, you want to add a cup of rice, 3 cloves of garlic that are pressed, and the ground coriander, turmeric, and red pepper flakes, and then saute those while stirring for around 60 seconds to a minute and a half. And then you want to stir in 2 cups of vegetable broth, a can of lentils, make sure you drain it, and a can of diced tomatoes. Then you season it with a teaspoon of salt and 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. You let all of that simmer for 10 minutes, occasionally stir it, and then turn the heat off and stir in a half a cup of Italian parsley that you should have chopped up by now. Then you want to stuff the peppers, right? So you want to first get the peppers, and you want to preheat the oven to 350 degrees to 180 degrees Celsius. Then you want to get your bell peppers. You want to rinse them and dry them. Then cut them in half. Remove the seeds and the white membrane, and you want to make it basically empty. And then you want to add a pinch of salt into each pepper, and then fill them with the rice mixture that you made already, that you were letting simmer for some time. And then you want to arrange that on a baking dish and bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which should be the temperature of the oven by now. And leave that for around 40 minutes or until you feel the peppers are like fork tender. And then you want to serve on a serving platter sprinkled with parsley and fresh lemon juice. And there you have a delicious vegan meal of stuffed bell peppers. Here's a first analysis of the benefits of a vegan diet. First, you have a lower risk of heart disease, and this prevents type 2 diabetes, and the occurrence of certain cancers may decrease. Your cholesterol levels will become lower, and you will be less likely to have high blood pressure. And then here's some health concerns. Analysis number 2, here's some health concerns about a vegan diet. You may experience some nutrient deficiencies in protein, vitamin B12, iron, zinc, calcium, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids. And this diagram over here shows you what each deficiency of each nutrient can affect in each part of your body. Analysis 3. What about athletes? Athletes require a lot of calories to fuel their workouts and lifestyles. Vegan diets are typically low in calories, as they say. Athletes also require crucial nutrients to support muscle synthesis and recovery, bone density, and oxygen transport, which is mainly sourced from animals, like protein, iron, calcium, vitamin D, vitamin B12, zinc, and omega-3 fats. Analysis number 4. The vegan diet modifications. For an animal-based diet, you want to have whatever you had from the vegan diet. These are some modifications that we're adding from animal-based products. So, iron and zinc have reduced bioavailability in a vegan diet. So, whole grains, legumes, tofu, nuts, seeds, and eggs would be a good addition. Vitamin B12 is found in animal-based foods as well. So, you want to add maybe eggs, milk, yogurt, cheese, or other plant-based foods, and beverages like almond milk that are fortified with vitamin B12. And protein absorption is slightly limited by a high fiber diet, so you want to have eggs, milk, yogurt, cheese, and lean meats. Analysis number 4 of the continued analysis number 4 of vegan diet modifications. Plant-based, with careful planning of every meal. So some good plant-based proteins are beans, lentils, split peas, quinoa, nuts, seeds, and soy products such as tempeh, tofu, soybeans, soy milk, and dry roast edamame. Complete sources of essential amino acids are soy, quinoa, buckwheat, and hemp. For iron, you can go to beans, lentils, spinach, tofu, tempeh, iron-fortified cereals, and breads. These increase iron absorption by also eating foods that are rich in vitamin C, like citrus fruits, berries, melons, peppers, broccoli, and tomatoes. For calcium, dark green leafy lettuce, broccoli, fortified tofu, and almonds. Vitamin D, fortified non-dairy milk, orange juice, cereals, and mushrooms. For vitamin B12, fortified foods such as cereal, soy milk, and nutritional yeast. And for zinc, you can go for beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, oatmeal, soy, and fortified cereal. And then lastly, for omega-3 fatty acids, you can go for walnuts, flaxseed, chia seeds, and hemp seeds. So in my opinion, is a vegan diet nutritionally sound? Health Canada recommends including eggs and dairy products to conveniently cover for nutritional deficiencies in a vegan diet. So therefore, 100% plant-based diet is not the most nutritionally sound or effective. For me personally, I just can't give up the flavors, juices, and satiety I experience when I bite into a nice cheeseburger. Thank you. Here are the works cited for the information, for diagrams and such. Here are the image sources. So another page of the diagrams that I used that are cited here. Thank you very much.